Hey guys, it's Rick, back again with another video, and today I bring you round 7th of my chess open. I was paired up against David Castro, a 1954 ELO rated player, so pretty strong. And just before we start to cover the game, if you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate if you could subscribe if you enjoy my videos. And yeah, let's go into the game itself. So I played d4. You guys know that I've been playing a lot of d4 the past tournaments. And my opponent goes knight f6, knight c3, d5, and bishop f4. So the Jobava London that I love so much. And yeah, we kind of have the same setup that people have been using against my Jobava London, which is knight f6, d5, e6. And this is it's a normal setup, you know, it's not the most challenging, but it surely is good for black. And yeah, let's see how this game went. So I went knight b5, the usual, knight e6, e3, c6, kicking the knight away to c3. And here we have seen my opponents do all sort of stuff. Like we saw b6 in one game, we saw queen a5 in the game that I won against 1900, and here my opponent goes for knight c7, which is another move that can be played. Here I go knight f3, my opponent goes bishop e4. Here the engine doesn't really like me going knight f3. It says bishop d3 is best, or simply like a3 or a4. I mean, a3 is pretty it makes a lot of sense, honestly, to stop bishop b4. But the thing that I always aim for when I'm playing the Jobava London is rapid development, even if it comes at a cost of the opponent just chopping the bishop for the knight and damaging my pawn structure, making me have double pawns. But you know, you always have that thing. So does your opponent want to give the dark square bishop so early in the game? I don't think so. Like, if you see, this is the good bishop of black, because yeah, look at the light square bishop. It's gonna take a long time for it to be active. So if he gives the bishop, dark square bishop away easily at the start, I'm not too worried about. I'll have rapid development, and I'll just start an attack on the king side. So yeah, knight c7, knight f3, bishop b4, bishop d3, a6 by my opponent, maybe aiming at a5 here. I played knight e5 to stop this sort of b5 move for the moment, because of course if he plays b5 now, I just chop on c6. And yeah, he goes knight b5 here, which I wasn't really expecting, and I ended up not playing the correct move. I took on b5, which, you know, as I was saying as I was saying and explaining to you before, just like my opponent, giving the dark square bishop away is probably not the greatest idea at the start of the game, because you know he's giving his best bishop away. I also shouldn't have done what I did. I shouldn't have chopped the knight on b5, because indeed this light square bishop is really important in the attack of the king, in the possible attack of the king side. And yeah, here the computer just wants me to really just sack a pawn, and wants me to castle king side, and it really goes with my plan of just rapid development, because here the computer is not worried about this. It just says rook b1 and says that white is clearly better here in this position. And yeah, I saw that this could happen, but yeah, I just wasn't able to believe in this variation, you know. And even though I have so much development that I can't be worse, I still was like not so sure about this one, about giving up this pawn. But I should have done. Instead, I took on b5, which is very, very bad. It's a horrible positional mistake that the computer hates. It already gives a minus 0.2 advantage to black, only if they capture with the a pawn, which my opponent didn't do. towards the center, capturing towards the center, opening the a file, but he took with the c6 pawn, which is kind of questionable. Um, and yeah, it's not such a big deal now. But so yeah, I just castled, and my opponent played bishop d7, and here I was sure that it was gonna take on c3, damage my structure, and then yeah, maybe probably just like, I don't know, castle. It seems like logical. But here, he played bishop d7, and I was like super happy to see that, because I was gonna move my knight and not allow him to spoil my structure. And after castles, I go bishop g5, which for me makes a lot of sense. The bishop now is putting pressure on the pin knight, makes sense. And he goes back to bishop b7, which is, it's kind of weird. If you go to b4, normally you go to chop the knight. It doesn't really make sense to go b4 and then go to e7. Yeah, we both made a lot of questionable moves, I would say, but the position is equal for now, and let's see how it went. So I go knight c1, trying to reroute my knight to d3. It's fine. Bishop h6, no, h6, excuse me. And yeah, here I already thought about what I was gonna do. I was gonna take the knight and play f4. And yeah, the computer doesn't hate it, doesn't love it. It's yeah, it's a decision that I made. I was gonna play knights versus bishops. Mostly because I thought that my knights had great squares, and his bishops weren't really looking at much here. So yeah, I was kind of happy with this decision. And here my opponent plays g6. The computer wants me to take on d7 and play this sort of knight versus bishop type of middle game, which yeah, I can probably understand that it's a good decision, but I decided to just reinforce my knight on e5, because it kind of hurts me to trade my really great knight like on e5 for his horrible bishop on d7. Like, those are the type of moves that it's really hard to make, and yeah. So I play knight d3, which is absolutely fine. He plays bishop e8, so yeah, here I thought that my opponent was playing way too passive, and I wanted to kind of just take my chance and go for mate, go for his king. And so I just played rook f3 with a simple threat of just swinging my rook to h3 or g3, depending on his moves, and just trying to break through on the king side. And he plays bishop g7, I play rook g3, and he plays king h7, so he's all like tied up. His pieces are all in the back rank, he's super passive, my knights are in incredible squares. And yeah, my pieces are active, and I really like my position. Here at this point in the game, I was very happy of the opening, how the opening turned out to be. And I thought that I could really take this game, because I thought that my opponent wasn't really putting pressure on me, and I thought that I had a big chance. I was very excited. I also had a big time advantage here. So here I started to go wrong. After king h7, the position is really good, but what should he do? How should he move forward? I thought about a lot of things, but yeah, I wasn't really sure. For example, I thought about knight c5 here, but I was always worried about b6, kicking my knight away, and me having to go back. And did I accomplish anything by doing this? I don't think so. So yeah, I played b3 here with the simple idea of breaking through on the queen side, just opening the c file, maybe trying to get the c file going. But yeah, this is too slow. The computer doesn't like it if my opponent just plays rook c8. But my opponent also plays a good move f6, and my knight gets kicked away. And here plays queen e7. I play a4. Yeah, I mean this. I can't. I don't think so. I don't think this makes a whole. Hey guys, it's Rick from the future, and I realized that I didn't really explain what the computer suggested as a plan here. Yeah, I played b3, which I said it was a bad move, but the computer wanted something like c3 and let's say f6, knight f3. Let's say rook c8 looks like a very logical move, and the computer wants something like queen e2 and let's say queen e7 like it did in the game, and now um, yeah, wants to sort of play e4 and open the position this way, because now let's say after takes, first of all, yeah, he can't really attack my queen because g6 is hanging, and f5 no longer works, would be actually a probably losing move for him because now he doesn't have any tactic. Yeah, I'm putting pressure on b7. He probably has to play bishop f7 just to connect the rooks, and now I get like rook e1, and the game goes on. Definitely, it's not winning for me, but it's way better, and the position kind of looks healthy. Although I still have to figure out how to proceed from here. But yeah, this would be clearly better than what happened in the game. But yeah, if I play the problem here is that I realized that if I play rook c1, it just goes queen a3 and attacks this pawn on a2, and yeah, the position is messy. Um, I play a4 to stop queen a3, and also with the idea that if he lets me play a5, I would be very happy about it because then my knight cannot get kicked by b6. So he plays rook c8, and I play a5 like I wanted to. And here my opponent goes bishop f7. And the move here to equalize, because I already went wrong, just positionally, and yeah, I just lacked plans and started drifting uh, away and not really making moves that made a lot of sense. Here I should have just played b4. It's the correct positional move because I'm just securing a spot for my knight on c5. I also thought about c5 directly. Funnily enough, this isn't good at all. I'll just show you what I played here. I played queen e2. I don't know, I was a bit confused, as I said, about what plan should I go for, and I decided, okay, let's go for e4. And yeah, that's what ended up happening in the game. But let me just show you that b4 is really important, because if you go knight c5 directly, the computer loves if black sacks the exchange like this, for like a rook for a knight and a pawn, and here just says that black is doing very well, even down material, because best move queen d2 protecting e3, and now comes rook c8, and probably like the bishops are gonna open up, and yeah, all of a sudden this rook is misplaced, this king is pretty safe. I'm getting like the position will open up in favor of the bishops, and yeah, it's complicated. But yeah, I decided to go for this plan of opening the position, which goes against like just middle game principles, honestly. And I didn't think about this during the game, but if you're playing knights versus bishops and you're playing the side that I was playing, with the knights, you should aim to keep the position closed. And now it's pretty closed. And e4 is just opens the position, and yeah, just very bad plan. I made a lot of mistakes in this game. Not really impressed by the way I played. Here, my opponent had to play kind of like the computer likes a lot of moves, likes to open the position here. Not like this, but yeah, he likes to open the position somehow. But this is complicated still. But I think his move was kind of good, rook c7, and here I had a chance to go before again, but I played e4 like I was aiming for. I was trying to, I don't know, like open the position, create some lines against his king or something like that. And after takes, he plays rook f8, so pretty natural move, just attacking c2. And here I thought that I would be fine if I just block the c file with knight c5. And to my surprise and to my kind of sadness and frustration, my opponent, after thinking for a bit, he just chopped the knight on c5, and I gulped. I was like, oh no, oh no, like, how can he do this? And here comes the tactical justification for him giving up, sacrificing the rook for the knight. So here after I take, which I'm pretty much forced to take, what else I'm gonna do, he has f5. And yeah, this is just simply refutes my play. f5 attacking the queen and also opening a discovery attack to my a1 rook. And yeah, this is just painful, you know. I just self-destructed, honestly. Again, another game where I was doing fine, but I just, you know, didn't really have a clear plan, started drifting away, and boom, my opponents, you know, they are stronger than me. Most this tournament, my opponents were really just stronger than me. And even though I got good positions out of the opening by good opening prep and just opening knowledge in general, I just drifted away and let my opponents get back into the game, you know, by outplaying me in the middle game, even when they were more passive. So yeah, here just, yeah, very nice move by him, very nice find, and he found it quickly. Queen c5 is even more precise than taking the rook immediately, so very nice. I have to go to the side, and here just takes. And you know, I was kind of hoping that there was some miracle here, and I almost found the miracle with knight g5. And I say that I almost found a miracle because here he pretty much is in check. He only has two moves. He either moves to g8, which is the correct move, and after he moves to g8, there's nothing. He's threatening mate, and my knight is hanging, so yeah, I can just resign probably. Although it's not really like, it's kind of threatening mate, but I can go knight f3. But after, you know, something like just trading queens, I don't even have to show you guys. I think this position is pretty horrendous, if I can say so. But here, if he takes the knight, he loses on the spot, which is absolutely brilliant. Just rook h3 check. He can only go to g8 and then queen h8 mate. I mean, if it was like a bullet game or a, you know, blitz game where we had both low time on the clock, maybe he would have blundered it. But he would never blunder with the time that we had on the clock, like 20 minutes. So, you know, I just played h3. He traded things like he should, and yeah, I'm down to pawns. My pieces, yeah, I mean, I will quickly show you. I didn't resign because, you know, I mean, probably this isn't the best way to deal with this type of stuff. But I mean, when I get destroyed, I can like resign pretty quickly. But when I thought that I was controlling the game and I'm a bit pissed off that I messed things up, I kind of tend to not really accept defeat right away, and I keep playing for a miracle. Because, I mean, in my defense, miracles have happened in this series. If you guys remember one of the episodes that I'll probably leave I'll leave at the end of the video, that miracle that I had against an 1800. You can check it at the end. But yeah, sometimes miracles happen, and they have happened to me, so I kind of don't like to resign straight away. Even when I know my position is hopeless, I still try to create something out of nothing. So yeah, but this is not really the most instructive. He just converted this pretty cleanly, and after a few moves, yeah, here I just resigned. I had enough, and yeah, pretty frustrating. Like, just I mean, I can't like for me playing against Spanish players is a curse, man. I've played against 3 Spanish players so far in the series, and I've lost them all in like just unbelievable. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, the oldest I did get defeated by 3 Spanish players, but I mean they were 1800, 1900, and 2000. So I mean I can't really expect much with the rating difference. But yeah, I learned a lot with this game. But yeah, next video, guys, it will be the most insane game that you ever seen in the series. Bro, really, subscribe if you like the series so far, because the next game, it will blow your mind. It will be insane. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and for all the support that you've been showing for this series, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.